narration style. She said, "Yeah, you'd be good at that." So I thought about it for a couple of weeks, and there were a couple of stories that I had heard, and I thought, okay, I'll write stories around those. And so I did, and I threw up a couple of videos, and then I started remembering more stories about. And the reason I picked Bigfoot was because those were the stories that had always kind of gripped me. You know, you hear these stories a lot, actually. I mean, people, every other person on the street, hey, they probably got a Bigfoot story they've either heard or that they've experienced. And so I thought it would be interesting. And I had been following the guys at the Bigfoot Outlaws. I had been listening to Bear and Coonbo and all those guys. They had a great show. And so I just thought, okay, well, I'll write some stories about them and narrate them. And I did. And then I thought of a couple more, and I did a couple more. And I started in September, and around the end of November, it was right around Thanksgiving. Um, I just happened to log on to YouTube, and my views were, because I wasn't checking it much. I didn't expect it to do anything. I
Hmm.
was just having fun. Am I talking too much?
No, you go right ahead.
So I looked at we have our stats and stuff, and I was checking it about once every 2 or 3 days, and I'd get 50 views or 100 views on a video, and I was happy with that. I was thrilled to death. And then in uh, late November, I think it was Thanksgiving weekend, I looked, and man, my views were spiking like out of this world, and I had no idea why. It's like it just didn't make sense to me. So I thought it was a fluke, and so I just, oh, their YouTube's computers are screwed up. So I went to bed, and the next morning it had spiked even more, and people were clicking the subscribe button, and I thought, wow, this is really real. So I did a couple more stories, and then it just kind of gained a little momentum, and I don't know why. I still don't know why, but maybe it's because I don't do this. How would I say that? A lot of people do YouTube. They get into it because they want to try to make the money, or they want to get known. I don't want to get known. I don't. I'm a bit of an introvert. You wouldn't know that hearing me, run my mouth here, but if I'm in a group of people, I just kind of stick to myself, and I know how to mingle in a crowd. I'm not a recluse or anything, but I prefer to be alone and or with my family, or just some buddies. And but Got where I was going with that.
You were discussing that you was a little bit of an introvert, and you went down that part. I'm an
Anyway,
introvert. I'm definitely an introvert.
I
When
think
you
the
meet.
point is that I didn't want to be well known or anything like that. And the reason I do it even now is because it's just so much fun on my end, and I have such a nice interaction with um, people who comment. Only about 5 or 6% of people who watch a video on YouTube will comment, and so I'm only talking to a small percentage of the people who actually watch the videos. But
Hmm.
it gives you a pretty good feel of how people enjoy what you're doing, and that's what really drives me. That people really like it, and I'm so glad they do. And I still can't figure it out. I don't think I'll ever figure it out. I was talking to my wife the other day, and her and I both are like, "Can you believe this? Can you just believe this?" And we both of us are like, "This is just so crazy." But as long as people enjoy it, and even if they don't, I'll probably keep doing it because about, I don't know, 1 out of every 10 videos I do, I'll write a story around something I've heard or something someone's told me, and that's always fun. So it's just a good, fun experience for me, and I get to. I tell you what, it's has happened
Hmm.
is the internet has a reputation for being mean, and people ganging up on other people, and there are critical people on YouTube. But I got to tell you, the people who, at least the people who comment, I don't know what people are thinking in their homes or in their cars when they're listening, but the people who leave comments are, man, they're so nice. You just can't. Somebody asked me, someone left a comment and they said, don't you ever get sick of people saying how much they enjoy this and what a good job you do at this? And I'm like, no. I, anybody that embarks on any endeavor wants to get a pat on the back, And so anyway, it's just, that's kind of how it all started. And it's just been really fun. And, YouTube channels have a shelf life. They don't last forever. And I know that. And this isn't a forever thing. I mean, at some point, Bigfoot is not going to be interesting to people and the channel will fade away and nothing lasts forever. But while it's going, I'm just going to have fun with it. So that's kind of where I'm at now.
Well, we actually have a couple good questions for you. First one I'm going to tap is Kat Ward from Paranormal Heart Podcast. You know her. She says,
Kat.
When will he tour Canada and tell his stories live?
Say that again?
When will he tour Canada and tell his stories live?
I don't think I can get a passport.
Okay.
All those banks I robbed and stuff like that back in my younger days, I don't think I can get a pass. I'm kidding. I would, but yeah, I would do that.
That'd be cool. All right. Next one was, let's see. Since you're into cryptids, Are Gnomes Real by Sister Moon. Ooh.
I really don't know.
Don't know.
Oh, well, I tell you what I say though. I think I got a story about. It wasn't gnomes, but I got a story about some little people. This was in the UK, and it was so out of this world. I've still got it, and I haven't aired it on a video, but it was kind of like. Do you remember a movie called Willow?
Yeah, I remember Willow. That was
Val Kilmer
and the rest of them.
You know those little munchkin guys. That's kind of what the story reminded me of. They were chasing this guy and shooting little tiny like toothpick arrows at him, and I never aired this, and I may do it, but maybe those are gnomes. I'm not sure I even know what a gnome is.
That reminds me of a story up in Canada that there was some little people that infested what I was told was a haunted reservation over there. And these little people would adopt or take possession of little kids on the reservation, and they would wind up with a specific hair braid, and everybody in the village would know that they had been possessed by or taken possession of by the little people over there. There was one anecdotal story told that family saw that the little people had started braiding this one little child's hair, a little girl's hair, and the family said no and decided to move off the reservation to parts elsewhere off the reservation. And as they were moving out, and this was, I don't know how many years ago, but they were in the car leaving the reservation, and they were in an accident before they got off the reservation and killed the little girl.
Whoa. So apparently gnomes are not the cute little garden figures you have in your garden then.
Yeah. Steve Stockton, I don't know if you know that fella. He's 13 past midnight on the YouTube. He's asked Dixie, has he ever spent any time in the Smoky Mountains?
Yeah, a little bit. I've done some hiking up there, and I'm trying to remember the times I've been there, what we did. Did a hike one time, did a little bit of camping. but not any significant time.
I've been all over the Smoky Mountains. It's a wonderful place, wonderful area, wonderful region, and it stretches on up where I live in Southwest Virginia. It's amazing, the mountains. And we were talking. We were talking before about you were a flatland beach person, rather be on the beach with beer than
That's
anywhere
right.
else.
Yeah.
So, but let's see.
Well, what's funny is all of my family on my father's side, they're Mississippi, Alabama people. They're not in the hills of Alabama and North Alabama, but down. All my people are from like central Mississippi, and so they're kind of, and then a bunch of them in the Delta. So they're kind of flatland people. But my mother's side, they're all mountain people. They're Irish Scot people from the mountains of East and Middle Tennessee. And so the time I've spent in the mountains is with actually my family, my grandfather and uncles and stuff like that. So I love it up there. I just don't like it as much as the beach.
Ah, have you ever seen a Bigfoot?
No.
How about the signs or anything like that? Like
No, people ask me that all the time. I've never even seen, or at least that I could say that looks like something a Bigfoot did. Or, you know what I'd love to see next to seeing a Bigfoot is a track, a good, well-formed track. And I was with some guys. It was a little over a year ago. I was with some of the guys with the outlaw group, and we were on a camp out, and they were doing what they call boogering. And of course, I don't know much, still don't know much about any of that, but I'm kind of a hang around. I'm not an outlaw, and I'm what they call a hang around. So I'm hanging out with these guys, and we're going all kind of places. And I found what looked like a little track and it was in the middle of winter, and it was about 6 to 8 inches long, and it was almost a perfect form of a barefoot where nobody would be out. There was only one where nobody would be out there barefooted that time of year. Mm-hmm. So maybe I've seen something, but I can't put my finger on it. So the answer is no. I'm not an encounter person.
All right. We got another question from the IamDarkWaters.com chat room, which you can go over there and join up for free and listen to us and chat live with me and 21 other people in that chat room. Connor is actually one of the best dogman story person. Well, I don't know if you can call it dogman. It's more like a foxman story. But he asks, do you have any information on the different types of dogman?
No. And I think because I'm in this quote genre that people might assume that I know a lot about, the technical things that people who actually study and follow this subject know. And I don't know. I hear about the 4 types of Bigfoot all the time, and I'm always scratching my head going, what are they talking about? Because this is an animal we can't really even film. And yet these people know that there's specific types of Bigfoots, and maybe they're going on eyewitness descriptions and things like that. But no, I don't know. And if I had time, I would probably study up on it, but I just I don't right now.
So you'd mostly just concentrate your YouTube on Dogman and Bigfoot and other cryptids?
It's probably 95% Bigfoot.
Do you do any ghost videos or anything like that?
No. I've gotten a couple. I've got I think I've got 2 in the queue for. I'm going to do a couple of Halloween videos, and I get a few dogman encounters, and I've got them on my channel, and they're fascinating. They're fascinating stories. They're actually scary stories, but. Mm-hmm. Because is the dogman just a werewolf? Does he?
Yeah, hold on just a second. We got a phone call coming in.
All right.
Give me just a second. Welcome to Chasing the Truth. Who am I talking to?
Hey, you talking to Red?
To Red.
Hey, you still have Bucky? Do you still have Bucky on the show?
Bucky.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who's Bucky?
Dixie Cryptid.
Oh, Dixie Cryptid.
Some people, I got a buddy up in Canada. He calls me Bucky, and hey, Bucky, and we're always joking about.